Today I'm working on the high beams and really just finished getting the high beams wired up. Got a brand new relay in the box here. Got a bunch of new relays in the box. I'm only using 4 of them right now. I've got the fans hooked up for that one, so electric fans turn on with that. This is my starter relay, and I've got it on the 30 amp fuse. I've got the fans on the 25 amp fuse over here. The low beams, they only consume like 2.2 amps with the LEDs, so these two are the low beams, and all you need is 5 amps, so it's like you double the amount of amperage that you really need, and that's what you fuse it for. And then the high beams too, they only take like 2.2 amps to keep those running, so I just swapped out the 10 amp fuse and put a 5 amp in there because 10 amps was just way more than what it really needed. So got the air cleaners back on, air filters, and I'm not going to take that off right now to show the wiring, but basically there's connectors that I ordered up and soldered in so the headlights can easily be unplugged and removed, which I'm gonna have to do a couple more times as I work on getting the mesh. I'm gonna take off a little more material here and try and get some it's like diamond mesh black through there. At the moment I don't have a light switch, but I do have jumper wires. So this connector here, this is the high beam. This one right here is just for power. That's power coming in, and then the switch transfers all the 12 volts from this one and distributes them out to the other wires here. So Maserati chose to have a power control set up, which is fine. The old switch is over here. I tried to save it. Didn't do a great job of trying to save it. There was a lot more corrosion in here that I cleaned up with some muriatic acid, but I never could get down inside this hinge under here. And anyways, I tried using solder to just bridge the connection, and it's just a mess. So what I decided to do is get a new switch, and this switch, maybe you will notice that it is a Toyota Tundra, and probably a lot of other Toyotas in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. So it's got all the same functions that the factory switch had, including the turn signal, which had been a separate stock. And then they had the light switch set up behind it, and you would twist it to get lights. Oh, and then you would push it in to get the horn, which I have a button that I'll show you in a moment. Here's the horn button. It's a momentary contact switch that lights up blue, and I'm gonna mount this in the dash. I'm thinking I'm gonna mount the horn switch in this trim right here. I haven't drilled any holes yet, but I'm thinking, you know, that'd be a good place for the horn. I mean, the best place for the horn would be here on the steering wheel. You know, some of them will have, well, some steering wheels will have horn button somewhere on here, but then you need a what's that thing called, a spiral cable, so that it can have the steering wheel spin but still keep a connection. And I'm not trying to integrate a spiral cable onto this steering column, so I just picked up this to get my air horns going. Honk, honk. Back to the new turn signal and headlight switch. It it also has fog lights. And I happen to have a 2005 Toyota Tundra, and so I'm very familiar, and I actually really like the way this switch works, and I have obviously access to wiring diagrams, and if I really need to, I can just go and test on my daily driver Tundra to be sure that I'm making connections correctly to patch it into the wiring harness for the Maserati, which ultimately will just be plug and play. So if I need to remove the switch gear, I'll be able to. For the windshield washer and wipers, I have yet to see if I can clean that up. Maybe I will be able to, maybe I won't be able to. Right now there aren't even any windshield wipers mounted to the car. I think they're in here somewhere. Maybe they're in the trunk, but I'm not worrying about wipers right now. I just want to be able to drive this thing at night, and I'll get to the wipers soon. A little bit more about my battery setup here. I haven't cut a hole and welded in a box to. Basically, I'm going to sink this battery down to the same floor level as down here. Right now the battery sits high, right about here. So I want the battery to have its own box straight down from here that I will sink it down into, which if you look under the car, there is a spot that I could put a box right there. Pretty good size. I won't be able to come down any further than that. I don't want the battery box to hang low and get caught on a speed bump or something. That would just ruin my whole day. And I've got this big fat power cable running from the positive terminal all the way to the starter motor in the engine bay. I also picked up some new cable ties that have the brush clip that goes down in there, so I'm going to be pulling these out. I've got several old zip tie brush clip deals, and I just want to get that restored. And I'll also have this loom in there as well. This loom would have been there anyway from the factory, but this is going to be additional, and that's just one of the things you got to do if you want to relocate the battery to somewhere other than the engine bay. Lastly, I wanted to mention this jumper cable setup that I've got right now. Just going on to the positive terminal over here. All of these wires that I've got pinched together and feeding off of the positive terminal eventually will have a power distribution like bus bar just for the positive wires, and I'm thinking I'm gonna cut into the insulation here, just get a razor blade and cut all the way around in a circle, and be able to clamp onto the positive battery cable that way, and then I'll land all of these wires onto something that looks nice, and I guess I can shorten the wires, which, hey, you know, that'll save a little bit of weight. Not enough weight to really make any difference for this car. I'm not trying to set this thing up for road racing, but if I shorten the wires, it'll just make the electrical system a little tidier to work on, or to if anybody needs to get in here in the future. So I'm restoring this silly car and putting thousands of dollars into it. It is a Maserati, so probably somebody in the future will thank me for at least putting in a bit of effort to do it nice. And if I do that, then future owners will continue to keep up on the car. One more thought, or a bit of information for you guys. Maybe you're wondering, ooh, hey, what's the part number for that zip tie that fits perfectly into that hole? So I'll give that to you. Boom, there we go. So that's what you need. Yeah, made in China, but wouldn't you know it, they're so much better than the old broken shit. So if it works and it fixes the car, does it really matter that it comes from China? I don't think so. This is the cleanest this area has been since I've bought it anyway. And I am going to be rounding out some of these high sections here because morons over the years have gotten a floor jack and just rolled it under here and then jacked the car up right on this thin floorboard metal. So for anybody who wants to know, this spot right there is the jack point. That hole, that's the fucking jack point. Don't just jack it up here, or ooh, a lot of the times they would jack it up on that piece there, so that's all pushed up. Like here's another. Don't jack it up on that thing, even though it looks pretty sturdy, it's not. Don't jack it up on the pinch weld by the wheel there. This right here, that's the lift point, okay? So anyway, I have to hammer out that spot there, and there's another spot there, and actually this whole section right there looks like it needs to go down about an inch. This spot right here actually looks okay. That's that looks normal, but right here you can see where it's all cracked. That's from some idiot lifting the car up from right under there. So time to get the big flipping hammer and push those back down. Also wanted to show off my little hole that I drilled through here, and I opened up the hole back there and got a little bit of vacuum hose and cut a slit down one side, so now the wire is even more protected from chafing. Wouldn't want a direct short to ground on that wire. That would be a bad day. This is how you fix Maserati with BFH. I'll have to vacuum all that junk out. Alright. That's better. Alright, there we go. Got it beat down. Just gained like probably a whole cubic foot or two of interior space back by smushing that floor panel back down and up here too. This is definitely the kind of job to do the day after your wife says, "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore," and then you can just beat the shit out of the floor panel. I mean, you don't have to, but it helps. It sure does help.